Hampton.
All
Batting
right,
second,
so you
the
are
third
good.
baseman. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please all rise, remove your caps, and face the flag in right field as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Fans, at this time, we'd like to welcome today's hometown hero. Paul Caffell has been a dedicated member of...
Happy Father's Day from Harwich, Massachusetts. Chris Lucy joining you here on the Harbor Hawks Radio Network, where your hometown 1-1 Hyannis Harbor Hawks are taking on the 1-2 Harwich Mariners on Father's Day. A happy Father's Day once again to all the dads out there tuning in, watching their sons play a little bit of ball. Whether they're home or away, those are your boys out there. So they're playing for you, as we have a couple young ones out there throwing out the first pitch from Harwich.
Great job, Paul.
White House Field, the location for a doubleheader this gray, overcast, and pretty foggy Sunday. In the Cape Cod Baseball League, doubleheaders are played like this. 2 7-inning games, played one right after the other. This one getting started just around now at 3, and the nightcap expected to get underway at 6 p.m. The Mariners, the home team against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, take the field. They got a righty on the bump to start things off. That would be Tyler Baum. Baum, the right-hander out of the University of North Carolina, just trying to keep the momentum going from a stellar season for the Tar Heels. 6'1", 175 coming out of Ocoee, Florida. He went 7-0, undefeated for UNC this season, to the tune of a 2.57 ERA and 47 strikeouts.
Number 39, Tyler Baum.
He's flanked by Jake Farrell at first, Justin Novak at second, Max Bird at third, Travis Munoz at third base, Max Bird the shortstop. And from left to right in the outfield, a familiar name, Kyler Murray in left field. We'll get back to that. Matt Vierling in center, and Andrew Moritz rounding things out in right field for the defensive alignment for the Harwich Mariners. Baum has his work cut out for him in the top half of the first inning. Reese Hampton leading things off for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He's playing center field, followed up by Micah Coffey, the third baseman out of Minnesota. In the 3 spot, number 11, Brandon Donovan, the DH, and batting cleanup today, Dominic DiCaprio, the catcher out of Rice, in his Cape Cod collegiate debut. In the 5 spot, Robert Newstrom, the right fielder, Brant Stallings, the first baseman out of Georgia Tech, playing first base, batting 6th. Ford Proctor in the 7th spot, the shortstop, and Reed Leonard and Daniel Robinson round things out at 8 and 9. Reese Hampton in the left-handed batter's box against the righty. Bound the pitch. A strike, and we're underway here from White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. Game 3 of the Cape Cod League season for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The 0-1. Hampton squares around for a bunt and nibbles it foul down the third base side, out of play. Harbor Hawks in game 3 of their season 1-1. Harwich 1-2. The 0-2. In the dirt. 1-2. Harwich able to fit in one more game than the Harbor Hawks so far this season. They have one of the nicer fields in the Cape Cod Collegiate League and a new infield down in Hyannis, the 1-2. Fastball high and tight, evens the count at 2-2. A new infield laid down on Judy Scarafile Field back in Hyannis, just not reacting well to the rains that we got over this past weekend. Bound to the set, the 2-2. Cut on and ripped down to left field. Matt Vierling ranges over to his right and gloves it for the first out of the game. That's an F8 on Hampton. And it brings up Micah Coffey with one out, the third baseman out of Minnesota.
Number 12, the third baseman from Minnesota, Micah Coffey.
Coffey stands in the left-handed batter's box, infield and outfield playing straight away. Overcast here at White House Field, no rain in the forecast. The first pitch just misses high and outside. A fastball from Baum. 1-0 count, one man down. We're here in the top of the first from Harwich, Massachusetts. The 1-0. Slipped foul behind home, out of play. That one making a crash down in the parking lot behind home plate. Hopefully everybody's rides home are safe. The 1-1. A strike. Low and inside. Straight ball from Baum, right at the knees. Coffey in the 1-2 hole. One man down. Coffey wearing his blue Hyannis jersey with orange sleeves, orange lettering. The pitch cut on and roped down the right field line. Andrew Moritz ranges over toward the right field line, but it falls foul just beyond the Hyannis Harbor Hawks bullpen. Riley Gillum out in the Harbor Hawks bullpen, getting himself loose. The Clemson right-hander will get this doubleheader started for Hyannis in the bottom half of the inning. Now the 1-2 from Baum. Cut on and missed, but actually just nicked by the bat. Brad Debo can't hang on. Count remains 1-2. Coffey again in his blue Hyannis Harbor Hawks uniform, white pants, orange lettering, and a blue helmet. The pitch. That one slapped on the third base side, foul. Coffey staying alive. Coffey's bat of note. A wood one. We're in a wood bat league here in the Cape, but a blue barrel. A blue barrel with a familiar logo on it for most Hyannis residents. The 1-2. Served out into center field. Matt Vierling comes on and fields it on a hop. That's a base hit to lead things off for Micah Coffey. And with one out here in the top of the first, the Harbor Hawks have a man aboard with Brendan Donovan coming to the plate.
Number 11, the designated hitter from South Alabama, Brendan Donovan.
Donovan still looking for his first hit of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks season. He's 0 for 2. Pitch. Strike. Over the heart of the plate. 0 for 5, I should say, on the season is Donovan. He, however, comes up with a man on first base in Micah Coffey and one down. Still knotted at 0 here between the Harbor Hawks and Mariners. Off-speed pitch. Bounces on its way to home plate. Evening the count at 1-1. Muggy day here from Harwich, Massachusetts. Luckily, a good stiff breeze keeping things from getting too muggy. Blowing a lot of fog around as well. The 1-1 from Baum. High in sight, 2-1. Donovan batted .336 in his collegiate season for the University of South Alabama. The pitch, a strike. Another off-speed pitch. Corner at belt level. 2-2 count. Man on first base. That's Micah Coffey. Not taking much of a lead out there. Held on by Jake Farrell, the infielder out of Northeastern University in Boston. The 2-2. Slap foul out down the left field line, and a lucky fan almost making the catch on the fly, but it bounces off of his hands. Painful looking play there. Handled it with a smile on his face, but there might be some bruises tomorrow. Baum, the 2-2. Here comes. Just missing over the, but a little bit too low for the home plate umpires' tastes. Loads up the count. Man on first base, one down. Hyannis and Harwich knotted at 0 from White House Field in Harwich. The runner goes, and the pitch is slapped foul behind home, out of play. Micah Coffey not really leading too much early on in this game, but he took off on the 3-2. As one does when either the next pitch is ball 4 or a strike. Hit and run on for the Harbor Hawks. Baum again, kicks and deals. Runner goes, cut on in, missed, throw down to second base on a rope, and he gets him. The strike him out, throw him out, double play ends things here in the top of the first from Harwich, Massachusetts. Harbor Hawks 0. And now we head into the bottom half of the first. No runs, nobody left on base as the strike him out, throw him out eliminates Micah Coffey. And Andrew Moritz, Travis Monio, and Cameron Simmons do up the 1-2-3 for the Mariners after a quick break. You're listening to Hyannis Harbor Hawks baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Stick around. Nice throw, wasn't it?
The Harwich Mariners and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated.
We're back from Harwich. Chris Lucy joining you on the call, the Harbor Hawks Digital Radio Network. Your Hyannis Harbor Hawks are knotted at 0 with the Harwich Mariners coming to you from White House Field in Harwich. Top half of the first, pass without incident. One hit by Micah Coffey, but he wasn't even left on base as a strike him out, throw him out, double play ended things. And now we have the Harwich order coming up against the righty out of Clemson. That would be Riley Gillum. Little something about Gillum coming out of Clemson in his junior year. Not half bad. 2.57 ERA in 35 innings pitched, a 3-1 record to boot. 50 strikeouts. Didn't get a single start this past year, but this will be his first start of the Cape League season, and he gets started against Andrew Moritz, the right fielder. Moritz stands in the left-handed batter's box against the righty Gillum. The first pitch. Out of play. 0-1 count. Harbor Hawks and Mariners knotted at 0 here in the bottom half of the first. The 0-1 from Gillum. Cut on in, missed. High heat. That's strike 2. Moritz down in an early hole. The 0-2. Sent on a line down the first base side, past the outstretched glove of Brant Stallings and into right field for a base hit. He goes around first. The throw to second, not in time. It bounces off the glove of Reed Leonard, and Andrew Moritz has himself a leadoff double on a heads-up base running play. Hit that one on a rope to get things started for the Mariners, and that brings up Travis Monio, the third baseman, just fresh off a season at community college in California after transferring from the University of Oregon. He'll play his college ball next season down in Arizona for the University of Arizona. Big-time program. More along the lines of what he's looking for. Runner on second base. Nobody down. Gillum looks him back. Held on by Ford Proctor, and Gillum takes a step off the rubber. Moineau, a big season, 353 average with 7 home runs for Orange Coast Community College. That in the Orange Empire Conference. The pitch. High and outside from Gillum, 1-0. That fastball we just saw from Gillum is something we can expect to see be a theme throughout his game. This one a 7-inning game, one of 2 being played here at White House Field today. It's a fastball curveball pitcher, but that fastball is a biggie, the 1-0. Another fastball, same place, same result. 2-0 count, man on second base. Andrew Moritz, he's there with a leadoff double. Nobody out. He's the only man on. Breeze coming from right to left, blowing the banners on the right field fence. And the 2-0, high and inside off-speed pitch misses the zone, and that brings Dom DiCaprio out to the mound to have a word with his righty. DiCaprio in his season debut with the Harbor Hawks came in a little bit later this year, made it past the regional round of the NCAA tournament with the Rice Owls. Rice also the home of shortstop Ford Proctor, who holds the runner on second base. 3-0 count. If Moineau likes it, he's probably not even swinging. And it's a fastball right down the pipe, 3-1. Moineau, I should say, was drafted in the 34th round of the 2015 first-year player draft, but wasn't getting the signing bonus he wanted at that point in the draft, so he went to Oregon, where didn't necessarily mesh too well. As Gillum throws down to second base, Ford Proctor corrals a wild throw, almost went into center field. Batted 168 in 167 at-bats, 2016. Hit 6 doubles and 5 homers, mind you, but 53 Ks. Not quite what a scout is looking for. And the 3-1 is a ripping fastball for a strike. Another one he was daring Moineau to hit. Full count, runner on second base. Ford Proctor holding him on, the shortstop. Everyone else straight away. Harbor Hawks and Mariners tied at 0 from White House Field on Father's Day. The payoff pitch. That one nibbled foul just off the top end of the bat. Count remains 3-2 as the scoreboard has to reset. Little trigger happy up there in the big in the broadcast booth. Gillum still trying to get the out. One man on. Nobody down. Throws back to second to try and get it, but in slides Moritz safely. Head first. We're still looking for the first out here at the bottom of the first. Harwich up at the plate. Moineau, the man on second base. The 3-2. That one slapped foul behind home, out of play. You'd expect rain on a day like today, only 20% chance of it in the forecast. It's about as gray as can be, and a thick fog settling over left field. Almost can't see left fielder Daniel Robinson. No chance of seeing through this thick tree line that lines the field here at White House Field. As Gillum throws back to second again, almost getting Moritz. However, the right fielder slides back in safely. That stiff breeze coming from right field, as I told you about, blowing a lot of the fog around, making for an interesting veneer. The 3-2, high and outside. It was a battle, but Moineau wins out in the end, and he gets first base. That puts Gillum in an early hole. Nobody out, 2 men on base. And Cam Simmons coming to the dish. He'll step up to the right-hand side of the plate. Coming off of his sophomore season where he batted .352 for the Virginia Cavaliers down in the ACC. 9 home runs to boot. The pitch, high and tight. Count 1-0. Big fastball from Gillum. These two likely not strangers, as they are both ACC boys. Simmons at UVA and Gillum from Clemson. Never faced each other before, however. The 1-0. Curveball, that one low and inside. 2-0. Man on first and second. Nobody down. Gillum struggling to get outs here in the bottom half of the first. Here's the 2-0. Hit on the ground down second base side. Leonard ranges over to his right. Throws down to second. Proctor on to first. Not in time. Cam Simmons hit it on the ground, and the Harbor Hawks almost turning their first double play of the season. However, he reaches base safely on the fielder's choice, and Andrew Moritz moves over to third base. Runners on the corners. With one away here from White House Field, Brad Debo stepping up to the plate. Worth noting about Debo is how the manager wrote him in on the lineup card today. First pitch is fouled high down the third base line out of play. Runners on the corners. 0-1 count on Debo. Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners knotted at 0 here, only in the bottom of the first inning. The 0-1. Low and inside. So Debo, about 6 feet tall, coming in at 215. It's a big boy. Batting in the fourth today, and when I got the lineup card from the manager, I saw in the fourth spot the word tank written, the 1-1. That one slapped foul down the third base side, well out of play. Steve Englert, not a stranger to the Cape Cod Collegiate League, been around for about 17 years. And he has a sense of humor. Typing the catcher in as Tank on the lineup card. Runners on the corners, and Tank at the left-hand side of the dish. Takes a bouncer from Gillum, evens the count at 2-2. The righty with an out already on the fielder's choice. Runners on the corners, however. Hasn't started a game yet this season. This is his first start. 35 appearances for Clemson as the 2-2 is grounded down to Reed Leonard at first. He gobbles it up on the hop, and a run comes across the plate as he gets the out at first. So 2 away here from White House Field, but Andrew Moritz comes around to score. And just like that, the Mariners take a 1-0 lead.
The center fielder from Notre Dame, Matt Vierling.
Matt Vierling stepping up to the plate now. He's on the right side against the righty. Still a man on second base. That would be Cam Simmons. Everyone else straight away just going to the easiest base for the final out of the inning. Should it come here, as the first pitch to Vierling is blocked in the dirt by DiCaprio in his debut for the Harbor Hawks. He and Chris Proctor splitting the catching duties today in this doubleheader. The 1-0. Cut on and missed. A ripping fastball. Low and outside. Draws away from Vierling and evens the count at 1-1. Gillum comes to the set. Kicks and fires. Low and outside. 2-1 count now. There's 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Gillum's already let a run across. It's 1-0 Harwich. Now just trying to limit the damage with a man on second base. The 2-1. Another one low and outside. Gillum holding on to it a little bit too much, and that's 3-1. Takes a lick of his fingers. Not too cold out here. And if it was still, we'd really be feeling the effects of the weather, but there's a stiff breeze coming in. Waving the flags above the White House Field scoreboard. The 3-1. Clapped high in the air down the first base side. Brant Stallings coming over to try and grab it. It's in a blind spot, and it goes far out of play. That one almost into the stands down the first base side. a few kids hear from me that it's into the stands, and they go running over to try and catch a souvenir. That foul ball loads the count up at 3-2. Righty on righty matchup. Runner on second base. The 1-0. Runner goes. It's clapped up the middle and past a diving Ford Proctor into center field for a base hit. Reese Hampton gobbles it up, but Cameron Simmons will come around to score, and Matt Vierling stops up at first base with an RBI single.
Number 36, the shortstop from Northeast.
Just like that, Harwich jumps out to a 2-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks in only the bottom of the first inning. Max Burt, the shortstop, steps up at the right-hand side with a man on first base, 2 down. Gillum, the righty, on the mound, trying to end this. It's been a long one for him. Let in 2 runs on 2 hits so far, 2 hits and a walk. Throws back down to first. Vierling slides in safely. It's Vierling's first hit of the season, that RBI single, as ball 1 comes in from Gillum. Put the Mariners up 2-0. In the 1-0. A bouncer, that one gets away from DiCaprio at home, and Vierling gets all the way to second, turns around it, but stops up there. DiCaprio calls time once he wrestles the ball, switches it up with the umpire, and gets a fresh one out to Gillum with a man on second base. 2-0 lead Harwich. Infield playing straight away, outfield likewise. Hampton deep out there in center field, which is about 400 feet out. That fence. 330 out to left field. And a little bit shorter out in right. The 2-0. Sent directly over home plate, almost into harm's way by the Harwich Mariners concession stand. No harm, although foul. Pun completely intended. We can get a few dad jokes on the air here on Father's Day. Again, a happy Father's Day to all the dads tuning in. The 2-1. Cut on and hit straight back into the fence behind home. Pretty big backstop here at White House Field. Well-manicured grass, however, lines also in beautifully. Very well-manicured field. By Chad Gassman's estimates, Gassman, the manager of the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, is one of the nicest fields in the Cape. The 2-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Big looping curveball from Gillum gets him out of a tough inning, but before he can get that last strike, the Mariners force 2 runs across the plate on a walk and 2 hits, and now we go into the top of the second inning. Dom DiCaprio, Rob Newstrom, and Brant Stallings due up for the Harbor Hawks from White House Field when we get back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Chris Lucy joining you here from White House Field, where Harwich jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the first. We pick things back up here in the top of the second. Dominic DiCaprio leading things off at the right-hand side of the plate against the righty Baum, who pitched a scoreless first and draws a foul ball just down the third base side. It's a long inning for Riley Gillum in his first bit of Cape Cod collegiate action. Righty from Clemson giving up 2 runs on 2 hits. The 0-1, breaking ball, looping into the zone, but just a little bit too high. 1-1 count. DiCaprio in his Cape Cod collegiate debut. And the next pitch is slap foul down the third base side again, same place. Coming from Rice. Born in Niskayuna, New York, lacrosse country, and his father played semi-pro football in Albany. He grounds one down the third base side, gobbled up by Travis Monyo, who throws a wild one across the diamond, but the outstretched glove of Jake Farrell snares it and keeps that back foot on first base. Out quietly in his first bit of Cape Cod collegiate action, but the 6', 205 junior with a loud bat. Expect big things from him this year. That brings up Robert Newstrom, whom we've seen some good stuff from already this season. He stands at the left-hand side against the right-hander Baum. 3 hits, batting .429 in 7 at-bats for the Harbor Hawks. Takes a first pitch strike. Count 0-1. Harbor Hawks down 2-0 here in the top half of the second inning from White House Field. The next pitch, strike 2, swinging. Newstrom taking a big hack at that one. It has yet to be seen what this fog is going to have on this game, whether it gets an effect or not, but you have to imagine it almost creates a batter's eye, the 0-2. Low and inside. What I mean by that is when you're trying to see the baseball, that's a little blotch of white traveling at you at upwards of 95 miles per hour, with Baum on the mound at least, the 0-2. Slap foul behind home, out of play. Count stays 1-2. You have to imagine that it almost creates another batter's eye as when you have a white ball coming at you at incredible speed, and then the 1-2, cut on and missed. A weak swing from Robert Newstrom, and there's 2 away quickly here in the top of the second.
Number 25, the first baseman.
Brant Stallings now at the plate for the Harbor Hawks. Gets a sign from Coach Gassman and steps up to the right-hand side of the plate against the right-hander Baum, who's been almost unhittable so far today. I say almost because Micah Coffey was able to gather a knock off of him as the first pitch to Stallings is skied high beyond the broadcast booth here on the first base side, out of play. The 0-1. Well inside and low. 1-1 count. 2 on, nobody out. Baum having an easy going of it here in the early part of this game between the Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners. Baum, the righty for Harwich. He threw one that was just fouled off by Stallings down the first base side into the Harbor Hawks dugout. And the next pitch is slapped down left field side and right into the outstretched glove of a running Kyler Murray. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for the Harwich Mariners. They get another easy one and are right back on the offensive side of things with the 7, 8, 9 of their lineup. Justin Novak, Jake Farrell, and the aforementioned Kyler Murray. Yes, that Kyler Murray. We'll have more on him and the rest of his Mariners teammates when we get right back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you from White House Field. Harbor Hawks down 2-0 on Father's Day, going into the bottom of the second inning. Justin Novak, number 4, stepping up to the dish for the Mariners. Nobody on, no one out. Gillum still on the mound. The righty deals to the righty, a strike. Outside corner. Been primarily fastballs today from Gillum, the 0-1. There's that curveball. Draws a wave from Novak, the second baseman. So Novak, not the only one around here. The 0-2 bouncer, another curveball. Not the only one foreign born here on the field. Novak, born in Japan, Tokyo to be exact, as he takes strike 2. But he's not the only guy on the field born outside of the U.S. as he slaps at one and just nicks it foul in front of home plate. Brendan Donovan, who is not in the lineup as of now, actually is the DH for the Harbor Hawks at the moment in the 3 spot, the 2-2. Cut on in, missed, strike 3. Born in Würzburg, Germany. So 2 foreign nationals out on the field today as one just goes down swinging to get things started here in the bottom of the second.
Number 18, the first
That'll bring up Jake Farrell.
Northeastern, Jake Farrell.
He stands on the left-hand side against the right-handed Gillum, starting to get in a bit more of a zone. And the first pitch is cut on and fouled just in front of home plate. 0-1 count. Now we see Gillum starting to get a little bit more comfortable out on the mound as he has a friend come in and say, "What's up?" That's Micah Coffey, just trotting in from third base, sharing a laugh. Leaves with a smile on his face. The 0-1. Grounded weakly out of play down the first base line. Harwich leads 2-0 from White House Field. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Jake Farrell, the left-handed batter against the right-hander Gillum. The 0-2 pitch. High and tight. 1-2. Gillum just trying to reclaim the inner half of the plate. Farrell, 6'4", 205 with a big strike zone. As Gillum bounces one in on the outside corner, curveball. Evens the count at 2-2, 1 man out. First baseman playing down the line. The pitch gets away from DiCaprio. That's also ball 3, low and inside. Little misunderstanding between the new battery. Still early on in the Cape Cod season, especially for the Harbor Hawks. 2 consecutive rainouts over the last 2 days. And here's the payoff pitch. Sent high in the air down the right field line. Robert Newstrom staying put, ranging back now toward the warning track to make the play over his left shoulder. And after a tough first inning for Gillum, he gets 2 quick outs, and that brings up Kyler Murray, who's had everybody at bated breath today. Murray, known more for his exploits on the football field, and boy is he known. The 2014 Gatorade Player of the Year in high school takes a first pitch strike, a fastball over the outside corner. Somewhat of a legend in Texas high school football, went 42-0 in 3 years as a starter. And the 0-1 is a breaking ball, strike 2 on the outside corner. Responsible for 5,000 total yards and 186 total touchdowns. The 0-2. That one wristed, foul down the first base side, causing a little bit of a ruckus in the Harbor Hawks dugout. Narrowly missing a few players. 0-2, but Kyler Murray originally committed to Texas A&M to play football and baseball and made a flip. The 0-2. A curveball missing and check swing from Murray doesn't go around. 1-2. Murray made the switch about after his freshman year as another breaking pitch from Gillum just misses the zone low and inside, evening the count at 2-2. So he makes a switch after his freshman year at Texas A&M. Now he's at Oklahoma, and he grounds one down the third base side to Micah Coffey, who stays put, throws across the diamond to the outstretched glove of Stallings, who gobbles it up on the hop and ends the inning for the Harbor Hawks. And now we go into the top of the third inning. Harwich leads 2-0 here on Father's Day. Stay tuned for the 7, 8, and 9. Ford Proctor, Reed Leonard, and Daniel Robinson due up for Hyannis when we get back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you from White House Field, where the Hyannis Harbor Hawks are down 2-0 to the home field Harwich Mariners. Tyler Baum back on the mound for his third inning of work. Dirt going inside. 1-0 count from the righty. The 1-0. Smacked high in the air down left field. Kyler Murray takes 2 steps over to his left and gloves it for the first out of the inning. Ford Proctor going down in his first at bat. Still in search of his first CCBL hit this season.
From Moorhead State, Reed Leonard.
And now here comes Reed Leonard at the right-hand side. 1 down. Harwich leads 2-0. The pitch, high and tight. That one, a little bit of chin music from the righty with the big arm out of North Carolina. Low and away. Say a righty with a big arm because Baum, although not physically imposing, 6'1", 175, can get upwards of 95 miles per hour on his fastball. Next pitch is well inside, ball 3. Comes from an athletic family, Baum. His father, Derek, played baseball at Cornell, and his mom played 2 sports at Endicott College. 3-0. A strike. Brings the count to 3-1 over the outside corner at knee level. Here's the 3-1. Check swing. They look down first base, and first base umpire rings him up. That loads the count. Tyler's sister, Tori, also an athlete herself. She's committed to play volleyball at USC down in Southern California next year. Leonard fouls one off down the third base line. Stays alive at 3-2. And the 3-2 comes over the outside corner, but way, way low. That brings Leonard over to first base with a free pass.
The left fielder from Central Michigan.
So Hyannis gets the man on with 1 out. Still looking for their first run of the game, down 2-0 to Harwich in the first leg of a doubleheader here on Father's Day. An overcast one at that. Foggy and gray. The first pitch, a strike to the left-handed hitting Robinson. Daniel Robinson, 5 for 2 on the Young Cape season. And on first base, here's the 0-1. Grounded up the middle. That one gets right into the glove of a sliding Justin Novak, who makes the play at second, and the throw down to first from Max Burt, not in time. A slick play from the middle infielder out of Virginia. That brings 2 away.
Back to the top of the order.
Slow grounder from Robinson, but what a show of athleticism. The second baseman out of Tokyo, Japan. Played high school ball in Tokyo as well. That brings up the top of the Harbor Hawks order. Here's Reese Hampton. The lefty at the plate takes ball 1 low and inside with a man on first base. Jake Farrell holding that runner on. Baum still on the mound. Here's the pitch. Sent high in the air and right to second base. On a hop, I should say. That one bounced just in front of home. Skipped all the way out to Novak at second, who flipped over to his middle infield battery mate Max Burt for the final out of the inning. So again, another quiet one for the Harbor Hawks on the offensive side. They've only scored in 2 of 18 innings of baseball they've played so far this year. And now we go to the bottom half of the third. Top of the order due up for Harwich. That is Andrew Moritz, Travis Monod, and Cameron Simmons. We'll be right back with them after a quick break on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Happy Father's Day.
Number 6, Andrew.
Welcome back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy coming to you from the Harwich Mariners home field out in Harwich, Massachusetts. And Andrew Moritz takes ball 1 high and outside to lead things off here in the bottom of the third inning. Riley Gillum, the righty, still on the mound, dealing to the lefty, who grounds one right up the middle. A liner that Gillum snags and flips down to first base, where Brant Stallings closes his glove on it for the first out of the inning. Heads up play from Gillum right there. Moritz really ripped one at him.
From Arizona, Travis
But
Monod.
the right fielder from UNCG is the first out of the inning via 1-3, and that brings up Travis Monod, who walked and was later thrown out at second base. The lefty at the plate takes ball 1 high and inside. That was on the fielder's choice that brought Cameron Simmons to first. He scored 1 of 2 runs that the Mariners got in the first inning to take a 2-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks here into the bottom of the third. Gillum pours strike 1 over the inner part of the plate. Moyno at the left-hand side with a 1-1 count. Takes another fastball over the outside corner, but just a little bit too low for ball 2. Wind starting to pick up a little bit here, blowing that thick fog over and left around a little bit. The 2-1. That one clapped high in the air over in the left-hand side of the infield. Ford Proctor calls everybody off and gloves it a few steps over to his right for the second out of the inning. Overcast gray day here from Harwich, Massachusetts on White House Field. Definitely a little bit tough to see those fly balls coming in with such a gray sky. And as well, there's some fog blowing around almost tornado style in the outfield, really creating a strange shade over the trees that dot the outfield fence. Gillum deals strike 1 to Cam Simmons, the designated hitter on the day. At a nice little breaking ball. Righty-righty matchup. 2 outs. And the next pitch is cut on and grounded right to Micah Coffey, who fields on a hop and throws across the diamond for the final out of the inning. And just like that, the Harbor Hawks get a 1-2-3 themselves, and we go into the top of the 4th. Micah Coffey, Brendan Donovan, and Dom DiCaprio, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Harbor Hawks, due up when we get back. Harwich leads 2-0 in the 4th inning here on Father's Day at White House Field. Stick around. Welcome back and happy Father's Day here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy coming to you from the first base side of things here at White House Field, where the Harwich Mariners lead the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2-0. Third game of the CCBL season for the Harbor Hawks, who had to deal with 2 rainouts over the past 2 days. Micah Coffey stands at the left-hand side of the dish against the righty Baum. Fouls the first pitch off well beyond the left field fence, out of play. 0-1 count. Baum comes to the set, flutters his glove, kicks and deals. One that is again slipped foul down the third base side. 0-2 count on Coffey. Swinging a familiar piece of lumber, that would be a Barnstable bat in his hand with the blue barrel. The 0-2. That one clapped out into the left center field gap, ranging over to his left to make a dazzling running play is Matt Vierling. He gloves it for the F7 and the first out of things here in the top of the 4th.
Number 11, the designated hitter from South.
Getting all the way over there with him again was Kyler Murray. Murray, the left fielder, a touted prospect out of high school, played a season of ball at Texas A&M. As Baum throws a first pitch strike at belt level to Brendan Donovan. Murray, however, not really feeling as though he had a good fit at Texas A&M, transferred after his freshman season to Oklahoma. As the next pitch comes in just a little bit too high. 1-1 count, 1 man down, nobody on base. Harbor Hawks down 2-0. The pitch, well outside and high. 2-1. Baum on the mound, still dealing, only allowed 1 hit over the previous 3 1/3 innings. As one is cut on and grounded down to Justin Novak, who ranges over to his right and sidewinds it to Jake Farrell for the second out of the inning. The 4-3 puts 2 away quickly for Baum, who's made quick work of the Harbor Hawks, as Dom DiCaprio steps up to the right-hand side of the plate against the righty. 2 down. Crowd starting to get a little bit more lively here as more file in. The first pitch. Looping strike over the outside corner. Breaking ball starts the count off at 0-1. The 0-1. just missed. It gets off the inside part of DiCaprio's bat and nicked just down the third base side. A bat boy comes out and makes the play. 0-2 count to DiCaprio, who sends that one skipping down the first base side. Jake Farrell fields it and touches first base by himself for the 3-U and the final out of the top of the fourth inning. That brings us to the bottom of the fourth. Another scoreless one for Baum and the Harwich Mariners. Heart of the Harwich order due up. Brad Debo, Matt Vierling, and Max Burt, the 4, 5, and 6 coming up when we return here on Father's Day on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy back with you from White House Field on an overcast Father's Day where we have some CCBL action between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners. It's an East-West matchup. Hyannis in the Western Division, Harwich in the East. And the righty Gilliam deals a first pitch strike to Brad Debo, the cleanup hitter for Harwich, to start things off here in the bottom of the fourth. Debo and his Mariners lead 2-0. The pitch. Foul tip just off the top of DiCaprio's glove. The junior from Rice switches up baseballs with the home plate umpire and throws a fresh one back out to Gillum. The righty from Clemson sets and deals. Low and away, 1-2. Just missing on the off-speed offering. So after a rough first inning from Gillum, as he bounces in a curveball for a 2-2. After a rough first inning from Gillum, he has settled in quite nicely. Hasn't allowed a hit since. But that rough first inning yielded 2 runs for the Mariners, and that's their edge so far. The 2-2. Roped out into the right center field gap and through for a base hit. That'll be an easy double for Debo, who turns around first base and charges into second. Unnecessarily, but he's in there to start things off well for the Mariners here in the bottom half of the fourth with Matt Vierling coming up. The center fielder 1 for 1 on the day with a base hit in the first.
From Notre Dame, Matt Vierling.
So that man on second, Brad Debo. It brings Vierling to the plate. Nobody on. Well, I should say nobody out. And 1 man on. Vierling at the right side of the dish takes ball 1 low and away. 58 games played and started at Notre Dame for Vierling this 2017 season. Batted .330 with 7 home runs. Pitch. Fouled off the catcher's gear. DiCaprio takes one for the team as the Mariners ball boy comes out and grabs that one. Long run all the way from the Harwich dugout. A big backstop at White House Field. Runner on second base. Nobody out. Harwich leads 2-0 and is poised to add to that. As the 1-1 is cut on and skied high in the infield. Micah Coffey charges in and screams he's got it, gloving it for the first out of the inning. And now here comes Max Burt. The shortstop struck out in his first plate appearance today. He comes up with a man on second base as Harwich Mariners on top 2-0 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on Father's Day. Here's the 0-2. Curveball hit up the hole into the glove of Proctor, who backhands it, throws a long way over to first. No clear ruling on whether or not that's a hit yet. But Burt is in there safely. Looks like they'll give him the hit. That is a single for Max Burt. He's aboard, and just like that, the Mariners have runners on the corners, and Gillum is going to have to sweat this out while Justin Novak comes up to the right-hand side of the plate against the righty from Clemson. First pitch. Novak scores around for a bunt, lays a beauty down the first base side. A run comes in to score as Gillum gets the easy out at first, and Harwich jumps ahead 3-0. Brad Debo adding the insurance run for the Mariners. And just like that, there's 2 away.
Number 18, the first baseman from Northeastern, Jake Farrell.
Max Burt moves over to second base on the play. Now Jack Farrell coming to the dish, his Northeastern teammate. He's at the left side. The pitch from the righty, Gillum. Bounces off the front of home plate. 1-0 count. Harwich scratches another run across here in the bottom of the fourth. Takes a 3-0 lead over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. And the 1-0 pitch from Gillum is a ripping fastball for strike one. That's swinging from Farrell, who had no chance of catching up to that low to mid-90s heat. The 1-1. Curveball. Nice little strike, dipping over from in on the hands to the outside corner, all at belt level. Nice lateral movement on that pitch. Brings Gillum 1 strike away from ending the fourth. And the 1-2 is a bouncer, about 59-foot curveball there. Don DiCaprio gloves it and flips it right back to him. 2-2 count, man on second base, 2 outs. Harwich added a run here in the bottom of the fourth. Gillum trying to cut his losses. The 2-2. Cut on and just barely tipped. Jake Farrell staying alive. Much to the chagrin of the righty from Clemson, who mutters a few words under his breath as he takes that throw back from DiCaprio. The 2-2. Sent high in the air again down right center field, but arranging Robert Newstrom comes over into the gap and makes the play on stride to end the fourth inning. But not before Harwich could scratch another run across. The Mariners go ahead 3-0, and that brings us to the top of the fifth. The aforementioned Robert Newstrom, Brant Stallings, and Ford Proctor, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, due up for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. So when we get back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network, stick around. And happy Father's Day to all those dads listening. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harvich. We come to you from White House Field on a muggy, albeit windy and gray Father's Day to bring you the first leg of a doubleheader. Hyannis Harbor Hawks taking on the Harwich Mariners. And the pitch. Cut on and missed from Robert Newstrom. Bomb still on the mound for the Mariners. Has just been untouchable so far, only allowing one hit through 4 full innings of work. Here's the 0-1, blowing it by Rob Newstrom. Newstrom already with a strikeout on the day. Not helping his cause, going down 0-2 to start things off here in the top half of the 5th. Harwich leads 3-0 after adding another run on in the bottom half of the 4th. And that's strike 3. Robert Newstrom just watches strike 3, another little changeup go right down the heart of the plate. That brings him to 0-2 on the day, and Brant Stallings comes to the plate. Another ACC versus ACC matchup. Stallings playing his college ball at Georgia Tech. Bomb at UNC. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Bouncer and a check swing. They look down first, and they ring him up. A 1 count. Harwich on top 3-0. Bomb really untouchable today, as I said earlier. Another bouncer, that one going off the chest protector of Brad Debo. Take a lot more than a bouncing curveball to stop a tank. As head coach for the Mariners, Steve Englert, calls the backstop. And the next pitch from Bomb gets a big swing and a miss from Stallings. 1-2 count. The 1-2. Another bouncer. That one low and away. So Bomb's fastball seemed to get a little bit more life now. He's taking it easier possibly earlier on. Now possibly coming to the end of his outing after 4 2/3 innings, as he throws another one that is cut on and grounded down to Justin Novak, who throws over to first for the second out of the inning. Harbor Hawks only getting 1 hit in this one, and that was Micah Coffey, who was promptly caught stealing on a strike him out, throw him out double play to end the top of the first. Since then, it's been a 1-2-3 inning, a third inning with a walk, and then another 1-2-3 in the 4th. We're an out away from that again here in the top half of the 5th as Ford Proctor steps into the left-handed batter's box and takes ball 1. The 1-0. That one cut on and smacked high in the air. Ford Proctor doesn't like it. He slams his bat as he walks down the third base side, and Kyler Murray gloves it a few steps over to his right in left field for the final out of the inning. The Harbor Hawks go down 1-2-3 again in the top of the 5th. And that brings us to the bottom half, where Kyler Murray comes up to the plate again, and Andrew Moritz and Travis Monod follow suit. The 9, 1, and 2 parts of the order due up. We'll be right back after a quick break on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stick around. Harwich leads 3-0 here on Father's Day. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you here. It's Father's Day. We're at White House Field in the first leg of a doubleheader, and Riley Gillum back out on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. The righty stands in against the righty Kyler Murray, who takes ball one. Harwich leads 3-0. Kyler Murray, as I mentioned, transferred from Texas A&M here to get to Oklahoma. He takes ball one, low and away, 2-0. Made a big splash on the football scene, of course. The 2-0. That one hit on a rope down the third base side. Gloved on a line by Micah Coffey for the first out of the inning. Trying to make a splash in the Cape League as well, as he's skipping off-season workouts with the Oklahoma football team to play a little bit of baseball here in Harwich. As a lucky fan grabs a souvenir that I didn't know was at my feet. And Gillum throws a first pitch strike to Andrew Moritz. The right fielder, 1 for 2 on the day with a double. Takes ball 2, high and outside. Ball 1, I should say. First pitch, a strike. Was a little distracted as I had fans grabbing for baseballs at my feet. And the next pitch comes in low and inside for ball 2. Didn't know there was a little souvenir that had just kind of kicked my way under my desk here down the first base side. The 2-1 comes in, ball 3. Another low one, that one over the outside corner. Righty-lefty matchup, the 3-1. Sent high in the air, that one well out of play. The foul down the third base side brings things to 3-2. One man down. It's Kyler Murray. He lined out to third base. And the next pitch is hit on a line again. This one into the gap on the right side of the infield for a base hit. Andrew Moritz extends his big day to 2 for 3. He's on with a single. He scored a run as well in the first inning. And now Travis Munoz comes back up to the plate. Munoz, the switch hitter, picking the left side of the dish against the righty Gillum. The man on first base, 1 down. Harwich up 3-0. Gillum loops in a curveball for strike 1. Now, we haven't seen the 12-6 action on that curveball consistently today. We've seen it at times, but that one looked more like a 12-3. Very slight little bit of lateral movement. The 0-1. Another strike inside corner. Jumping ahead of Munoz. 0-2. One man down. Andrew Moritz on first base. He's taking about a 3-step lead. Here's the 0-2. High and outside, 1-2. So we had consistent wind through the first 3 innings of this game, a shortened 7-inning game in this doubleheader. But now it's just been kind of coming and going, and when it comes, it really kind of gets up there. Runner goes, the 1-2. Slap foul down the third base. Line out of play. And what makes it interesting, this wind, is that it just swirls up the fog that gathers over in left field. We've seen little miniature tornadoes kind of swirling around, creating distractions for broadcasters and likely batters alike. And now we have another take on the 1-2. That one hit right up the middle. That hits Gillum in the chest. He's all right. Munoz gets on first safely, and that was a hard hit ball. Chad Gassman out of the dugout immediately to check on his righty. Gillum, however, is upright on the mound, got up immediately, was a little bit shocked, of course. But looks to be all right, just tipping his cap, wiping his brow. And that's going to be all for Gillum, who walks off the field on his own power. Trainer for the Harbor Hawks leading him off, but Coach Gassman taking every precaution possible with his righty out of Clemson. We have a pitching change coming up. We'll have more when we come back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. A third of the way through the bottom of the fifth. Harwich on top, 3-0. Man on first and second now. We'll be right back after just a quick little break here on Father's Day. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Chris Lucy joining you from White House Field. Coach Gassman making a pitching change after a scary incident on the mound. Riley Gillum had allowed 3 runs through 4 1/3 innings of work, and as he faced Travis Monyo, he gave up a single that hit him right square in the chest. Now, he'd had a play earlier in the game where Andrew Moritz grounded one right at him, but didn't quite have the reflexes to snare the second one. However, he goes off the field in his own power and brings on his Hyannis Harbor Hawks teammate Connor Green, who deals with a first and second situation with 1 out. Green, the big right-hander out of Ole Miss, coming in at 6'4", 230 pounds. Pitched an inning already this season. Allowed no earned runs on 1 hit, struck out 2. That was in the Harbor Hawks' last game against the Brewster Whitecaps. Consecutive games for Green, but with 2 days of rest in between because of the rain that came Hyannis way over this past week. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Green looks back at the runner at second and deals. First pitch, ball. Just a little outside, 1-0. Fastball from Green. You expect that big fastball at 6'4", 230. Collierville, Tennessee native. The 1-0. In the dirt and outside. 2-0 count. So Hyannis is struggling to put a run on the board with a dominant performance on the other end from Tyler Baum. Held to only 1 hit through 5 innings. Pitch. Another miss from Green, who comes in relief of Gillum. Coach Gassman taking every precaution possible with his guys, not wanting to get anybody hurt. Everyone's out here just trying to get scouted and throw an inning here and there. A 3-0. Ball 4. Connor Green. 4 pitches, 4 balls, and that loads the bases. Dom DiCaprio looks down the first base side where Ron Polk signals him to take a mound visit. About as good a time as ever for one of those, with 3 men on, only 1 down, and the cleanup hitter, Brad Debo, coming up. Debo's done some damage already today. Had an RBI ground out in the first and hit a double in the fourth to lead things off. He came around to score. He was the 3rd run of the day for the Mariners, who have a 3-0 lead. Green pours in his first strike of the afternoon over the outside corner. Another fastball. Bases loaded, 1 down. Next pitch, another fastball. Debo cuts and tips it behind home. That one bouncing off the fence on a line. Another bat boy comes out to get it. Again, a big backstop here at White House Field. By all accounts, one of the nicer fields in the Cape. The 0-2. That one hit on a line down the first base side and through for a base hit. That scores Moritz. In comes Travis Monyo. He comes in standing up, and Brad Debo moves Cameron Simmons over to third and pushes 2 runs across on a single. 1 man down, and just like that, Harwich takes a 5-0 lead.
Center fielder from Notre Dame, Matt Vierling.
Matt Vierling, the 5-hitter, coming up. 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a fly out down the third base side. It was gloved by Micah Coffey. Now he's up with runners on the corners and a rally brewing for the Mariners with 1 out. Already 2 runs across the board here in the bottom of the 5th. Connor Green deals a first pitch ball. The 1-0. Here goes. Strike, breaking ball coming in on the hands. 1-1 count. One. Runners on the corners. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Sent high in the air down center field. This will probably score a run. Reese Hampton gloves it on the fly, and just like that, Cam Simmons tags up and scores. And Harwich is ahead 6-0. Count that as a sac fly for Matt Vierling.
The shortstop from Northeastern, Max Burt.
Max Burt coming to the plate now. Another 1 for 2 on the day with a single. He got about as far as second base, however. Advanced on the sac bunt by Justin Novak that also scored a run. That was Debo. First pitch. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Runner on first now. Still Debo. 3 runs across the board here in the bottom half of the 5th. Connor Green in relief for Riley Gillum. And the next pitch comes in as ball 1. 2 of those 3 runs come on the bill of Gillum, but that third one, Cameron Simmons, is Green's responsibility. 1-1. That one slipped down the first base side. If it stays fair, that'll be trouble, but it is foul. Loop single material there, but first base umpire waves it beyond the foul line down right field. So now Connor Green has about as good a chance as he's had to close this inning. It's been a tough one for Hyannis. 3 runs already across the board to push Harwich out to a 6-0 lead. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. Connor Green rings him up. Max Burt has a word with the home plate umpire after that one crosses home, but his cries fall on deaf ears. However, Hyannis falls behind 6-0 on 3 runs here in the bottom half of the 5th. We'll come back with the top of the 6th when we return on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Reed Leonard, Daniel Robinson, and Reese Hampton do up the bottom and top of the order. Stick around, and happy Father's Day. Welcome back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you from White House Field. The booming voice of Eddie Vedder coming over the PA system here. Little Pearl Jam never hurt anybody, especially on Father's Day. However, Hyannis could use a little bit of help here. The Mariners lead 6-0, and Baum is back out for his 6th inning of work. Deals a first pitch strike to Reese Hampton. Reed Leonard start things off. Leonard, no plate appearances on the day, just a walk. And he grounds one down the first base side, picked up by the first baseman Farrell, who underhand bring Baum for the first out of the inning. One away here, bringing up Daniel Robinson. The left fielder, 0 for 1 on the day.
From Central Michigan, Daniel Robinson.
He hit into a fielder's choice to start his day off in the bottom of the third. Stands on the left side. The righty deals, and he ropes one over into the gap in right center field for a base hit. Robinson rounds third. Ball is eventually cut off by Matt Vierling, who chucks it right down to second base where Max Burt gloves it. Robinson holds up at first with a single. There's one aboard. First runner the Chiefs have put on base since Micah Coffey got there midway through the first.
Center fielder from UNC Charlotte, Reese Hampton.
One of 2 hits on Baum today, who has really been an exceptional arm so far and was exceptional for UNC too. Now here's Reese Hampton. Takes a first pitch, ball low away. Breaking pitch, misses the zone altogether. 1-0 count. Hyannis down 6-0. Harwich timing their hits well too. Only 6 on the day. Runner goes. Robinson. And the ball is hit down on the ground down second base side. Justin Novak ranges over to his right and gets the easy out at first. Robinson gets down to second. And there's 2 away with 1 runner in scoring position.
Number 12, the third baseman from Minnesota, Micah Coffey.
And here's the aforementioned Coffey. One of only 2 men to get hits today. One of only 3 to reach base. Reed Leonard, the other, who drew a walk in the top of the third. Coffey stands at the left side, a man on second base. 2 down. The pitch. A strike right down the gut of the plate. Belt level for Coffey as well. A 1 count. The clock is ticking for the Harbor Hawks. We're in game 1 of a doubleheader. It's already the top of the 6th. They have 2 hits and are down 6-0. These doubleheader games are shortened to 7 innings a pop. As the next pitch comes in high and outside, 1-1. In short, Hyannis really needs to get something going now if they want to have any chance of taking the first leg of this doubleheader. But Baum has other ideas. The 1-1. Breaking pitch. Again, low and away. Count 2-1. Runner on second base. The wind coming in spurts here at White House Field. Blowing from right field to left right now. The 2-1. Cut on and missed. A big wave. And Micah Coffey's down to his last strike with 2 outs. Infield and outfield playing straight away. Shortstop Burt holding on Robinson at second. He scoots out, and the 1-2 is hit on a line down to short, where Burt fields it on a hop and fires across the diamond for the final out of the inning. Another routine inning for Baum, who has really just been unstoppable today. Hyannis running out of time to put any runs across the board, and they go down softly again in the top half of the 6th. Only 1 hit. That man left on base, Daniel Robinson. And now Hyannis facing the 6, 7, and 8 hitters of the Harwich order. That's Max Burt, Justin Novak, and Jake Farrell due up when we return here on a cloudy Father's Day from White House Field. The first leg of a doubleheader. Hyannis down 6-0 to Harwich. More when we get back. Welcome back here in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you from White House Field. Another pitching change, the second one of the day for the Harbor Hawks. Nick Swan in to pitch the bottom half of the sixth. The lefty deals a pitch that is fouled off down the first base line, out of play by the right-hander. At the plate, that's Justin Novak. 0-1 count. And the lefty kicks and deals again. One that is fisted out down the right field line. If it falls fair, that's a hit, but it is just foul. Newstrom and Stallings converging on that one. Stallings well out of his range, but getting out there pretty fast for a guy who comes in pretty big. Stallings standing at 6'4", 220. Good motor for all that size. As I said, Swan is the third pitcher of the day for the Harbor Hawks. Riley Gillum pitched 4 1/3 to the tune of 1 earned run. He's got 2 earned runs. Pitch. Ball 1. The outside corner, just a little bit low. And then Connor Green came in his stead. Slapped high in the air down the first base line and well beyond the first base stands. Count remains 1-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Pitch. Bouncer. Breaking ball in the dirt. Count now 2-2. Swan on the mound. His debut for the Harbor Hawks this season. Out ahead to 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one hit on a line right to a jumping Reed Leonard, who gloves it right where he's standing for out number 1. Swan, a junior from Florida Atlantic University. Pitched 35 innings this season and 34 appearances to the tune of a 4.11 ERA.
From Northeastern, Jake Farrell.
He gets the first out here in the bottom of the 6th. And deals the first pitch strike to Jake Farrell, who's 0 for 2 today. The lefty winds and fires. Breaking ball, smacked down the right field line and through for a base hit. Farrell rounds first, stops up just a few steps behind the bag, and he's on base with the 7th hit of the day for the Mariners. 1 down with a man on first base, and here comes Kyler Murray. Murray, the football star, trying to get his baseball chops going again. His Harwich Mariners lead 6-0, and he waves at a first pitch strike. Swan blowing it by him. Man on first base. Swan at the set. Looks back to the man at first and deals. Ball one, low and away. Been playing some pro baseball already. A big pro prospect for the NFL, but if you can do both, why sell yourself short? The 1-1. Breaking ball, low and inside, count 2-1. Was a two-way athlete in his time playing sports in Texas. Throws down to first, does Swan. Jake Farrell, who's on base with a single, slides back safely. Murray 0 for 2 on the day. Pitch. Slap foul down behind home plate. 2-2 count. Runner on first base. 2-2 count, one man down. Murray at the right-hand side against the left-handed pitching Swan. Breaking ball. Strike 3. That one, some sick right to left action. Curveball from the lefty, breaking in on the hands of the righty, and it froze up Kyler Murray for a big old backwards K. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th, and Andrew Moritz back at the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup with a man on first. Harwich on top, 6-0 here from White House Field in the first leg of a doubleheader. Swan pushes a fastball across the inside corner for a strike. Wind now blowing in from right field towards home plate. It's changed directions a few times on us today. Also, strength as well. The 0-1. Weekly hit down the first base side. Brant Stallings snags it before it can go foul and steps on first for the final out of the inning. So 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Jake Farrell left hanging, but now we go to the top of the 7th inning. Last licks for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, down 6-0 in the first leg of this Father's Day doubleheader. Brendan Donovan, Dominic DiCaprio, and Robert Newstrom, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, just about Hyannis's best shot at breaking the offensive stalemate. We'll be right back after a quick break. You're listening to Hyannis Harbor Hawks Baseball on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Chris Lucy joining you for our last licks for the Harbor Hawks, down 6-0 in the first leg of a Father's Day doubleheader. We have some lineup changes coming in. Cole Murphy coming up to pinch hit right now in lieu of Brendan Donovan, and he'll come to face the right-handed throwing Jamie Serra. Serra, freshman at William & Mary, deals a first pitch strike, swinging. Serra just finished his freshman year at William & Mary. 19 2/3 innings pitched to a 1-1 record, 4.58 ERA. He's on to close the door, and he hits the batter, Murphy, right on the front foot with his next offering. Cole Murphy gets on first base with a hit by pitch. And just like that, the Harbor Hawks have one more base runner. One of only 4 they've had today. Dakota Jalila steps up to pinch hit for Brant Stallings. He fouls the first one off down the right field line out of play. 0-1 count. And there's a strike over the outside corner. Make that 0-2 Serra, getting right to work. Serra, the 6'4" righty, sets up and deals to the righty at the plate. That one hit on the ground down the third base side. Travis Munoz on to second, to first. Hey, got him. Count that as a 5-4-3 double play. And with one swing of the bat, the Harbor Hawks are down to their final out. And another pinch hitter comes to the plate. This one, Ryan Olenek.
Pinch hitting for the Harbor Hawks, number 15 from Ole Miss, Ryan Olenek.
Olenek takes a big cut and fouls the first pitch directly back. 0-1. Harbor Hawks down 6-0 away facing the Harwich Mariners. First leg of a doubleheader, and here's the pitch. That one hit on the ground down to short. Max Burt takes his time fielding it and throws across the diamond for the final out of this shortened first part of a doubleheader. Harwich doesn't need the bottom half of the 7th inning. They take it easily 6-0. I'll be right back with a little wrap-up of this one. Harwich taking it 6-0, the first game of a doubleheader here from White House Field. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all those dads listening today, and we'll be right back. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Game one of a doubleheader here on Father's Day between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Harwich Mariners ends 6-0 in favor of Harwich. In this one, starting up soon, but between then and now, may as well take a look at how things went down. Hyannis falling victim to 2 big innings. The bottom of the first, where Harwich was able to scrape 2 runs across the board on a leadoff double from Andrew Moritz, and then a timely single from Matt Verling. From then on, it was all from then on at least the Harbor Hawks side, stopping in the bottom of the 5th. It was Riley Gillum who was dealing until a line drive from Travis Munoz hit him right in the chest. It was a screamer, and the right-hander, to his credit, got right up and looked like he was fine, but Coach Chad Gassman not taking any risks, especially early on in a summer ball season, taking him out and replacing him with Connor Green, who had a tough 2-men-on situation to start things off. He loaded the bases, and then a single from Brad Debo plated a pair of runs, and by the time the 5th was all said and done, there was a 3 spot on the board. And that was really all that the Mariners needed, in addition to a run that they got across the board in the bottom half of the 4th. So again, offensive struggles, a theme for the Harbor Hawks. They've scored runs in only 2 of 25 innings on the young Cape Cod Collegiate Baseball League season. 3 of those runs coming in the bottom of the 2nd in the season opener against Wareham, the only 3-run test, a 3-0 win. And then in the bottom of the 9th, a home loss 6-1 to the Brewster Whitecaps. That's just about all there is to this one. Hyannis struggling on the offensive end, but this is a special day for everybody at the ballpark, being Father's Day. Baseball, a game of fathers and sons. I can remember clearly my dad playing hours and hours of catch with me as a little youngster, just trying to perfect my own sidewinding pitching style. And, you know, I never panned out as a ball player, but my dad, I think, did about as good a job as he could with me running around, fumbling around on words, trying to become a sports broadcaster. And I think he did all right and has been more than all I could have asked for out of a father. He's always been there for me. He's listening right now. Dad, I know you're listening right now. I love you. Thank you so much for all that you've done for me. And I feel like I speak for everybody at the ballpark right now. Baseball, another game of just a tight father and son bond. It's a game I bonded with my dad over, and I'm sure everyone else can say the same. So that's all for game one here from White House Field. At the end of 7, a shortened one because of the doubleheader. Hyannis comes up short, 6-0 against the Harwich Mariners. We'll be back in a little bit with game 2, that one coming your way at 6 p.m. Keep it right here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Signing off, I'm Chris Lucy. Thanks so much, and we'll see you later this evening.